In this topic we are going to look at the props or the library what we have extended from our previous version. So let me just go into one of the project. We can create the new project. Now let me show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so I'll just do this dismiss. And if you have like used our like the older version, it had about 1900 like the sketch images, right? But we have extended to like the next level. So what I mean, if you go to the props, you are going to get now the new option, which is like add props. If you click upon that, you are going to get the SVG images. These are all like colorful images, right? You must already know about the SVG, like what SVG is. It is called basically a scalable vector graphics. That means if you can like click any of the images, for example, let me select this watch and let's go back to the canvas, and I can stretch this image as large I can, or I want, and it is not going to pixel. That is the beauty about the SVG images. So you can like shrink it down or make it large as you want, and it is always going to keep its quality. That's very good about SVG images. And if you go into the props, you can see we have added about 20,500 plus SVG images. So now let's take a look upon, because when you are going to make a story, you are of course going to find the props which is going to help you, right? So either you can just go through like like images, go like check like one by one, but it's like time taking, right? You're not going to spend so much time looking at 20,000 images. So let's do one thing. Let's try to search the images. For example, let me do search for the school, like I'm going to work upon the school project. So it is going to show you like all the projects, or sorry, all the images or the props going to support on your schooling project. Or let's do one thing, let me check like if any other images I can find which is maybe related to animal, which is dog, right? And you have like all kind of the dogs like you might like, you want to use in your storytelling, like like this or this. So these are like huge library of the images we have. And for example, you are like working upon some presentation, then you can also work upon, or you can also choose the images related to country. For example, flag. So let me do the flag. So in the flag you can find all the countries it belong to. You can just stretch it out and you can see like most like every country we have added in here. So this is all about the vector images you can find into the vector illustration and the props. Now the next one what we have added, which is the custom icons. So if you go to the custom icons, we have this huge library, and this library is somewhere about, let me just make it unfilter. Okay, so we have the flag, sorry. So I thought like why is showing like 84. Basically we have just filter in here, so you have to just unfilter in here. So you are going to see about 23,870 the icon we have added. So you can just go through the icons one by one, but it's look like small, but it is not small. Let me show you why. So let me do one thing, let me add one of the icon, for example, to give you the demonstration, which is like this. Where is the happy? I don't want this that sad icon. Let's add apple. Okay, now in the apple we have added this icon, and we can also enlarge as much we want. And this is the black icon, right? But let's say you want like the apple had to be red, right? I don't like this black apple. What you can do is you can just go back to the props, into the icons. So either you can go and find the apple, or you can just go in here and type the apple. Okay, so we have apple in here, but this is still black, right? So you can change this color, the color you want. For example, you can make it red, so you can have the red apple, or you can have it green apple, like it's not matching red. Or you can have any color you want. For example, I can just move it from here like this purplish color, or sorry, it's purple, okay, might be, or kind of this color you like. So you can add any color you like. So let's do one thing, let's select this apple. Okay, it says like added, really? Okay, it's added now. I think it is not added, because you can see in here in the background whether it's added or not. So let me go back in here, the apple is added. I can just make it like this and make my animation, right? So after like while doing the animation, one thing we have also made one of the changes. Earlier it used to be like auto sketch, which is like you had to go back to hand style and do this sketching, select the hand style. But at this point we made it like fade in as a default, or you can change it later. So let me show you what I mean. So if I play this, it is going to be like fading, it's coming as a flash, but it's not like sketching in something like that. But if you want, you can sketch it. You can just select, you can go into animation, do the sketching, and then after that you can go into the hand style, select the hand style you like, or you can go into the favorite. If you have favorited already, like I had it already, I can select this one. I can just do like select this both as a very simple shortcut, and then it will start doing the sketching instead of the fading. So let's have a look upon it. So you can just make this like animation slow if you like, because it's going to draw like a little bit slower. And you already know you can use this ball for the animation, the blue one, and the red one you can use it for the delay. So it's going to be take the time to animate, and red one is going to take the time to wait to start the other animation. So let's start, so you'll know what I mean. Alright, now you understand, right? So this is all about our SVG images. Now let's have a look upon the other images what I wanted to tell you. The next one is the custom props, which you already know we had in our earlier software. So here you can also go and find this like the image you like, and these are mostly like sketch images. So let me show you one option, which is natures, and we can go into the natural disaster, and you have this kind of the sketch images. You can go into like different option you like, you can select. There are not many images in here, but still like the images you can choose what you like. For example, financial investment trading, you can have like some basic images in here. You can also select if you want, but the vector illustration is our upgradation, just to provide you the all necessary icons or the images, SVG images you can use for your storytelling. So this is like the props section. But let's say even after this 46,000 is total what we have, you do not find the image you want. So what you can do is you can just go into the library and you can upload the image you want. For example, I can just do the upload, and I can select the images. Like I have like already images. You can attach into like JPEG or PNG. So let's add first PNG, and I will show you what I mean. So these are like images. I can just go to different slide. Let me add this image in here, then after that this image in here, for example, and something like this. All right, now the next slide, I want to add something SVG image, because I have something like the storytelling where I want something very crystal clear image. So you can also upload your own SVG image. All you can do is you can just go to upload, and this is one of the image I downloaded from the internet. You can just select this and it's added in here, and I can just enlarge it like it's a butterfly. It's very beautiful, right? So you can also like make add your own custom images. So let's do like sketching for this, and I'll show you this very beautiful it's look like. Now let me increase its animation so that it's going to be nice animation. All right, just make it like a large duration animation. Now let's see how it goes. Now it's look like hand is like drawing each and every part of this image. All right, so this is all about the images. You can use the props. In under props you can just go to add props, and you can select the vector props, or you can select the custom icons, whether you can select your custom props from the sketch images. But if you even though you do not find any props from this library, you can still upload the images into the library, and you can use it for your storytelling. Okay, so this is for now, and I'll see you in the next one.